All right, we should be live now. What's going on, guys? Happy Hump Day. Here to talk about the 6-game NBA slate. We'll keep the same schedule. We can go over what we know so far. We can look at some numbers. We can talk about players and their prices. I can give you guys my core cash game plays, and then we'll get the questions at the end. Hopefully, you guys had a good night last night. It was a really solid night for me with that core of Beal, Middleton, Bledsoe, and Ilyasova. Could have maybe taken out a tournament if the Toronto starters got fourth quarter run. But all in all, really solid night. So I hope you guys had a good night as well. So let's see if we can keep it going here for Wednesday. So let's go through what we know so far. We have DeAnthony Melton ruled out, but Jay Crowder in. Yeah, I talked about maybe taking a shot and like Tyus Jones or Hill maybe or Kyle Anderson, but Jay Crowder playing, probably off those guys now. Let's see. A lot of this stuff is for Thursday. We got news of Harden and Clint Capella. Both are, I believe, available to play. Miles Turner ruled out. Yeah, you guys know what to do, right? Let's see. Oh, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I really like Sabonis, even at this elevated price point on Draftkings, and I don't think he's going to be that high owned. 9,400 is going to scare a lot of people off, not me. When Sabonis plays center, he just has even more upside than usual. I know Oladipo's back. Doesn't really worry me, to be honest. Sabonis is going to probably play close to 40 minutes, and a lot of that time is going to be at center. So I really like Sabonis, one of my favorite plays. And yes, I do have my Sabonis shirt on in honor of playing him today. Let's see, what else do we have? Kyrie expected to play. That's what I expected. Again, it was only a personal reason. We have Harden and Capella both available. So with Capella now playing, I still have interest in Whiteside, but not as much as if he would have been matched up against like PJ Tucker and Thabo Sefolosha, right? Like we saw with Gobert. Harden playing, you're going to have to make a tough call, right? Do you want to hope for the bounce back spot from Harden, or do you want to continue to ride the hot streak with Westbrook? I think it's a really close call. Both are really similar priced. I'm just guessing. I think Harden is going to be a lot higher owned than Westbrook, but I think they're very similar. Let's see. Pacers are starting Brogdon, Lamb, Warren, Sampson, and Sabonis. Again, Sabonis starting at the 5. Drummond expected to play. Yeah, Drummond himself is more of a contrarian option, and that definitely takes a lot of those value Detroit guys out of play for me. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at some numbers here. We have the Bulls and the Pacers sitting at 215. The Pacers are 9.5-point favorites, so there's a little bit of blowout risk here. Memphis and the Knicks is sitting at 221.5, with the Grizzlies favored by 3.5 points. I think that game is an interesting game stack. I talked about that in my video. There's a lot of guys priced in the mid-tier that you could make a pretty solid lineup. We have Jazz Spurs right now sitting at 220.5. The Jazz are favored by 6. We have the Rockets and Trailblazers. This one should be fun to watch. 241.5 with a 4.5-point favorite for the Rockets. Thunder Kings 219.5 with the Thunder favored by 3. Yeah, that late night hammer, not really super excited about that one. Let's see. Okay, so we'll go team by team here. We'll start with Chicago. Honestly, there's not a whole lot I like here. We have Levine. They always list him as probable. He's going to be good to go. He's just a contrarian option at 8.6. Like, I don't see myself getting to Levine when I can pay an extra $1,500 or so for Westbrook or Harden, right? Or pay down for CJ McCollum. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense for me to get to Levine. So probably not going to go there. He's just a dart thrower for GPPs. Let's see, Chris Dunn, not really interested. Thad Young would probably be the guy I'm the most interested in at 5.3. He hasn't flashed huge upside, but he's been getting the minutes, right? 29, 35, 29 minutes. This is a revenge spot. We saw last year, I think maybe once or twice this year, he still has upside. Like, he can get over 40 fantasy points on a good night. He's a guy that gets those peripheral stats right. When he has a good scoring night, he can have a pretty solid night. So I think Thad Young would probably be my favorite play here on the Chicago side. Satoransky, Dunn, again, I'm not really super excited about them. Kobe White, sure, if you want to take a shot under 4K. Hope he gets hot, but that's really it for Chicago. Not a whole lot I'm excited about in a tougher spot against the Pacers. Now let's talk about the Pacers side. Again, I already talked about really liking Sabonis. He's going to play a lot at the 5. He played 41 minutes the last game against Portland, had 66 fancy points, a triple-double. I know Brogdon's back. That definitely takes a slight hit to his usage. I know Oladipo's going to come back, play off the bench, and be limited to 24 minutes. That takes a little bit of hit to his usage, but that doesn't scare me off of him when he's playing the center. And especially going to be matched up against Luke Cornett, right? So, yeah, I have a good amount of interest in Sabonis. I don't think he goes that high owned today. Brogdon 6.6. Little undecided on what I want to do here. The price is appealing. It's, Chicago has been pretty solid defensively. I know I just talked about liking Sabonis' matchup, but it's a good individual matchup. But all in all, like Chicago as a team, they're playing at a slow pace. They've been pretty good defensively. So Brogdon at 6.6, first game back, I'll probably pass. I get it if you want to go there, but I don't think I can get there on this slate. Now, Oladipo actually does intrigue me. He's going to be limited to 24 minutes off the bench. Now, who knows if he actually gets those 24? Maybe he only gets like 15 or 20. But I think he is now in consideration for a guy that you can take a shot on for cheap EPs. Definitely wouldn't go there for cash games, but I could see Oladipo getting like 30-plus fancy points for you in 24 minutes. And yeah, again, the price tag is $6K. It makes it tricky. So he is in play for GPPs, but I'm not super, super excited about it. Warren with Oladipo and Brogdon back, I'll pass. McConnell, Holiday out of play with Brogdon back. Really, my main interest here is Sabonis at 9.4, and I like him a lot. I think that price tag scares off a lot of people, but I will be playing Sabonis tonight. Now let's talk about Memphis and New York. So this game does intrigue me. There's just a lot of guys that are a little bit underpriced. You can make a really, really good game stack out of this, right? So it's basically my main interest here is the 3 guys at the top with Morant, JV, and Triple J. Don't have a whole lot of interest in Brooks, who is very, very scoring dependent. He's been solid, but he's got to knock down the shots. He's been shooting the ball really well. I'll let others chase. I'll pass. I don't have a whole lot of interest now in these guys like Tyus Jones, Solomon Hill with Jay Crowder back. So the main interest here is these main 3 guys. Probably my favorite would be JV at 6.4. I think he's probably going to be pretty popular, but we saw 34 minutes out of him, kind of out of nowhere. He's a guy that normally is somewhere between low 20s to 30 on the high end. He got 34 there against Jokic. I talked about in my video, the Knicks run big, so this is a game I think Valanciunas could see a lot of minutes once again. The concern is it is a back-to-back. Maybe they want to limit him. I don't know. I think even if he has a floor game, even if he gets limited minutes-wise, if he gets like 23 minutes, I still think he probably gets you 25-plus fantasy points. So the floor is somewhat high in my opinion. The ceiling is really, really high. Again, we know 50, even 60 on a really good night for JV. So I like him a lot there at that price. Probably my favorite play on the Memphis side. But I also have interest in Morant and Triple J. Morant 7.2. His minutes have been going up recently. We're probably going to get 30 to 35, somewhere in that range. I could see him having an upside game at this price. Also don't mind Triple J. He's been doing a better job staying out of foul trouble. You can certainly go there. So those 3, I do have a decent amount of interest in, but that's about it. I don't think I want to target any of those cheaper guys. So I'll talk about some value guys. A lot of them actually being the Spurs, and then on the other side there, Mike Conley. That's where I'm going for my value right now. On the Knicks side, it's really the same thing for me. It's the top 3 guys, and that's it. I have no interest in any of these guys down here. I have interest in Randall at 8.3, who I think goes pretty low owned. But again, this game, you could make a pretty solid game stack here. So I have some interest in Randall. I have some interest in Marcus Morris, who has been playing big minutes as well, 37, 37, 34, 35. We know he's going to shoot the ball a ton. We've seen big upside games from him, right? We know he can get 50, even 60 on a really good night. And then I have some interest in Alfred Payton at 6.3. I think I'd only go here as part of a game stack because his upside isn't as high in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, you could realistically make a pretty solid game stack of this. Like we'll just throw the 3 guys in at the top, right? Like Alfred Payton. All right, let's do it. Hold on. So we throw Alfred Payton, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, run it back with JV, John Morant, Triple J. 4.4K remaining. That's going to be a very, very contrarian build. But if you're a guy that's making a ton of lineups, I think I would probably throw that build in one and just hope that game, maybe get overtime out of that game. I just don't think a lot of guys can go low owned, or high owned, I should say. But I think there is some upside in some of these guys in this game. And again, the over/under right now sitting at 221. So let's talk about Detroit-Brooklyn now. Detroit, not a whole lot I'm super excited about. Drummond at 9.7. You can get to him, but I like other centers more. I like Jonas Valanciunas for a lot less. I like Jakob Poeltl for a lot less. I think if I was spending up on a center, I would prefer Whiteside. So yeah, Drummond is just more of just contrarian play. I don't see myself getting to him on the slate. Derrick Rose is okay at 7.6, but I think I'm going to prioritize the guards in the Rockets Blazers game. That's where I want my guard exposure to, with Harden, Westbrook, Lillard, or CJ. That's where I will be looking. So Derrick Rose 7.6 is fine, but not going to be the way that I go. One guy I have some interest in as a value play is Reggie Jackson at 4.5. 15, 19, 23, 25. Those minutes are slowly creeping up. This is a good spot. I think we probably get mid-20s minutes from him again. So I'm perfectly fine getting into Reggie Jackson here as a value play. Probably my favorite play in the Pistons point per dollar. But everyone else with Drummond playing, I don't have a whole lot of interest in. So that's basically it. On the Brooklyn side, this will be quick as well. I think it's Kyrie, and that's it for me. I'm not considering Dinwiddie or LeVert. DeAndre Jordan and Jared Allen will split the center minutes. Maybe one of those guys have a good game, but it doesn't make sense for me to get to one of those guys who are going to split the minutes when, you get Jakob Poeltl, probably going to play big minutes. Jonas Valanciunas has immense upside. So really for me, it's Kyrie, and that's it at 9.1. And this one it's tough, right? Because I really like Westbrook. I really like Harden. I really like CJ. I think Lillard is a contrarian option at his price, but there's just so much to like in that game. It's going to be played at such a fast pace where it makes it a little bit difficult to get to Kyrie. I do like his upside for sure. Maybe he's going to want to come out and put on a show for Kobe, who's pretty close to Kobe. So he could play the Kobe narrative. I have some interest in Kyrie as a GPP option, but probably not for cash games. And that's basically it again. I don't have interest in anyone else there on the Brooklyn side. Let's talk about Utah and San Antonio. So, Utah, Gobert at 8.7, not for me. I would rather play Whiteside at a similar price. I would rather play Jonas Valanciunas and Jakob Poeltl. Those are the three centers I'm interested in tonight, so I'm not getting into Gobert. Mitchell at 8K, probably not for me. I know he was solid the last game against Houston. He's a little bit up and down. If you really feel strong about it, you can, but not going to be the way that I go. Bojan, 2 scoring dependent, not for me. I do have some interest in Ingles at 5.1. I like the price here. He kind of had an off game the last game. Not super worried about that. I think we get about 30 minutes from him, so I think he's a solid value play. Then also Mike Conley. I think he's my favorite play here in the Jazz. 3.8K, 18, 18, 19, 25 minutes the last game. So my best guess is he gets around that, maybe a little bit more. I guess there's always a chance they could limit his minutes and go back to like 18. If that's the case, then he won't be as good of a play. But just going off what we've seen recently, right? The minutes are slowly ticking up, kind of like Reggie Jackson. So I do have a good amount of interest in Conley on a slate that lacks in value plays. I'm guessing we get about 25 minutes from him again. I guess there's always a chance it could limit him, but just going off what we've seen recently, those minutes are slowly going up, right? Started at 15, then 18, then 19, then 25. So and he's a almost a 1 fantasy point per minute guy. So yeah, I have some interest here in Conley as a value play there at 3.8K. All right, that basically wraps up there for Utah. So let's talk about San Antonio. And surprisingly, I have more interest here on the San Antonio side than I do on the Utah side. In a really bad spot, I know. DeRozan, I'm not getting there personally. I know he does have a pretty big upside. We saw there last game with no Aldridge, but not really fitting my roster builds right now, so I can't get to him. He's perfectly fine if you want to go there. I think he's a contrarian option, but not for me. Jakob Poeltl, 5.6. I like him a good amount. We saw 36 minutes from him that last game. 36. That is just insane. If we project him anywhere near that again, like if he gets like 32, he's going to stand out as one of the best plays. So sure, there's a chance he gets in foul trouble, but he is 100% their best chance to guard Rudy Gobert. I don't think Meto, or I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He got some backup 5 run. Yeah, I don't think they're going to play him a lot against Gobert. So Jakob Poeltl, I like a good amount. Maybe the matchup scares some people away, but just going off what I've heard recently, I think he is going to be somewhat popular still in DraftKings. But yeah, I have a lot of interest in him just because of those minutes. As far as value plays now, so I like Rudy Gay a good amount of 3.6. He got 22 minutes the last game. I don't think he's going to play crazy minutes, but I think we get somewhere between around 25 minutes from him. And at 3.6K, like Rudy Gay is a guy that has upside, right? He can get 30 plus on a good night. So no Aldridge again. There's a lot of usage to go around. So I do like Rudy Gay a good amount as a value play. Don't mind Lyles either. 3.7. Him and Rudy Gay kind of split the 4. Lyles played 26, whereas Rudy Gay played 22. Yeah, so they actually did split the 4 completely down the middle with those two guys. So I'm perfectly fine if you want to go to Lyles too. I think both those guys will probably split the power forward spot once again. And they're both a little bit underpriced in my opinion. So those guys are certainly in play for value options. As far as the guards go, so Derek White, DeJounte Murray, Mills, and Bryn Forbes. I think one, maybe two of those guys is a pretty solid night. It's always hard to project which one's going to go off. I think my favorite play would be DeJounte Murray. Now, I think he's probably going to be the most popular at 4.3K. So yeah, I think if I wasn't to pick one of these guys, it would be Murray, but he's also going to be the most popular. You could look to Mills, who does have upside at 4K. Again, you could look to Bryn Forbes at 3.3. He's a guy that if he knocks down threes, he can get you over 20 fancy points. You could look to Derek White, who's been playing well off the bench. Like, literally, you can make an argument for any of those guys. It's just, who do you feel the best about? Because it's really hard to predict which one's going to have a good night on a night-to-night basis. So I'm okay if you want to take a shot in one of those four guards for value plays. But yeah, that basically wraps it up. So on the Spurs, I'm okay with DeRozan, but more of a contrarian play for me. I like Jakob Poeltl a good amount. I like Rudy Gay and Trey Lyles a good amount as value plays, and I'm fine taking a shot in one of those cheap guards as well. But that's basically it for San Antonio. So let's talk about Houston, Portland. Definitely my favorite game to target here, obviously. It's going to be pretty popular, right? 241.5 over under. We just got news that both Harden and Capella expected to play. So the tough decision you're going to have to make tonight is who do you play between Harden and Westbrook, right? And that's a really, really tough call. I think Harden is probably going to be more popular because they're almost the same price. And Harden he's been playing really, really bad. Not shooting the ball well, dealing with an injury. So that's the downside. But the upside here is 10.6K is super, super cheap. And this is just a smash spot against Portland. So it's a really tough call. Do you want to go for the bounce back spot with Harden, or do you want to go with Westbrook? I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So my lineup right now, I have $200 left over. I currently have Westbrook in. It's going to be one of those game time calls for me with who I go between Westbrook and Harden. Westbrook's obviously been playing a lot better. Portland too. Portland has been double teaming Harden. So they do like getting the ball out of Harden's hands. Just thought I'd bring that up. So that is a little worrisome too with going to James Harden. So yeah, I really think you're probably going to want to get one of these two guys in. And it's almost a toss-up for me. Again, I think it's a big game time call. I currently have Westbrook in, but I have 200 left over. I can always pivot to Harden. I'm going to kind of see how it goes. I think Harden's going to be more popular. If that's the case for GPPs, I'm probably going to stick with Westbrook. But if I hear enough people are trying to pivot to Westbrook, then I might go Harden. So it's all about your gut feeling there with those two guys. Really don't have a strong lean either way with either Harden or Westbrook. My take is I would play one of those guys. I would spend up for one of those guys in this slate tonight. I just love the upside here in a 241.5 over under. As far as Capella goes, not really for me at 8.2. He can still get you there at this price, but again, I've talked about those other centers I like, especially JV and Jakob Poeltl. I think are a little bit underpriced. So those are the centers I'm probably going with. I could see going to Whiteside. But those are the two centers I have a lot of interest in. Everyone else, there's absolutely no way I'm paying 7.3K for Eric Gordon with Westbrook and Harden in the lineup. There's no way I get to any of these other guys, to be honest. So it's Harden and Westbrook, and that's it. I think you probably try to get one of those guys in your lineup. On the Portland side, so I have Lillard in my thumbnail at 10.5, but I just think he's a contrarian play at this price. I still like him as a GPP play, but not going to be the way that I go for cash, or at least for cash games. I wouldn't pay 10.5K for Lillard. I would rather have Westbrook or Harden. Now, Lillard can still outscore those guys for sure. I mean, just look at what he's done recently. 92, 70, 84 fantasy points. And that 84 fantasy point game was alongside CJ McCollum. So he can still have big games with CJ playing. Again, I don't think I go there for cash games, but Lillard is still an option as a contrarian GPP play for me. Whiteside at 8.5, so he would be the spend-up center I would look to just because of the minutes, right? 44, 33, 36 minutes. We're probably going to get mid-30s minutes from him. Game's going to be played at a really fast pace, so I do have interest in Whiteside as a spend-up. Currently not in my lineup, though, because, again, I have Pirtle, I have JV, but I get it if you want to get to Whiteside here at this price. I also like CJ. I think CJ probably being my favorite play here on Portland at 6.9K just because of the price, right? He's a lot easier to fit. So it's a lot easier just for roster construction purposes to go with one of either Westbrook and Harden and then CJ, right? If you go Westbrook or Harden and then Lillard, it makes it a bit trickier. I do like CJ a good amount. I think he's one of my favorite plays of the day there at that price. Again, 241.5 over under. So I have a good amount of interest there in CJ. Melo at 5.9. I'm fine with. I would rather pay an extra $1,000 for CJ though, personally. Ariza, not for me at 4.9. That's too expensive, and that's about it. So, again, you could run a game stack for this game too. I think this game and the Memphis Knicks games are the two games that if I was stacking a game, I would go with those two games. But it just makes it tricky because a lot of guys are expensive, right? So if you go, let's say you want to play either Westbrook or Harden. Say we play Harden, and then try to plug in, two of those three guys with Lillard, CJ, and Whiteside. You can throw CJ in, and you can throw Whiteside in. You got 4.8 here remaining. So that's always a viable build. I don't think you could get. I guess you could play all three of Lillard, CJ, and Whiteside, but that would be. Yeah, that would be too much in my opinion. So you could always do a game stack, play three of the main guys in that game, and I don't think that's a bad idea either for GPPs. Last game here, OKC Sacramento. So honestly, I don't have a whole lot of interest in this game. Sitting at, where is it? 219.5. Yeah, it's a decently high over-under, but when OKC's fully healthy, they're just a tough team for me to I want to play this guy so much over anyone else. If you land at CP3 or SGA or Schroeder or Gallo, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to go out of my way to play them, though. I like the upside more on other guys for a little bit more, right? Paying an extra $3,000 for either Westbrook or Harden, or paying down a little bit for CJ, or getting to Sabonis. I know they're not the same positions, but Sabonis I like a lot more for a couple thousand more. So that's who I'm prioritizing tonight. So I don't have anyone in OKC in my lineup. I'm okay if you land on one of these main four guys, but no one really stands out to me. Adams and Noel splitting the center minutes. Don't think we have to go there either. So all in all, kind of a fade for me on the OKC side. Finally, Sacramento. Sacramento's the team I don't have a whole lot of interest in either. De'Aaron Fox would probably be my favorite play at 8.1, but I don't think I can prioritize him tonight. I just don't. When you have Harden, Westbrook, Lillard, CJ on the slate, I don't think I can get to him at 8.1. So more of just a contrarian play. Buddy Hield, I wouldn't chase that big game. Bielitsa is okay. He'll get some center run. We saw 41 minutes from him. I don't know if we can expect that again, but he's an okay option too. Bogdan at 5K did get 34 minutes, but I don't want to go there. He's not had a good year this year. I played him a lot last year. He won me a lot of money last year. Bogdan did, but he just doesn't really look like himself in this offense this year. So. And then Dedmon and Giles, again, their minutes went way down. They ran with Bielitsa a lot. I guess there's always a chance they could extend Dedmon if he's playing well, but I don't think I want to go there with either of those guys. So that basically wraps it up for the 6-game slate. So let me check Fantasy Labs one more time, and then I can get to kind of core cash game plays from me. Let's see. All right, so nothing else news-wise. So I think I'm going to go with the two center approach, those cheaper centers. I really think they stand out. So we'll go JV and Jakob Poeltl. I just think, again, there's a chance, like JV, even if he gets a short on the stick and gets like low to mid 20s minutes, I still think he can get you there at that price. Then Jakob Poeltl, he's the best chance to guard to Gobert. I know it's not the best spot, but if he gets anywhere like over 30 minutes, I really think he's a solid play there. And then let's see, got to go with my boy Sabonis. I think he's more of a contrarian option tonight, but I really like him playing the center position. So those three, and then let's see, who else do I want to give? I would say I'll go those three, and then CJ McCollum at his price at 6.9K. So that's 5.4K remaining. I would probably try to get one of either Westbrook or Harden in there and then go value. So that's the way I'm going about this slate. I hope that helps you guys. Again, I think Sabonis is not going to be that high owned, but I still like him at that price a good amount. So there's my core for tonight. Hopefully it's a good night for us. But yeah, we got about 15 minutes until lock, so let's get to some questions. If you guys enjoy this content, just take a couple seconds out of your day, hit that like button. It would really help me out. But yeah, all right, let's do it. Ariza, yeah, not for me at that price. He'll probably get some decent run, but where's Ariza? He's on Portland now. He's at 4.9. He's got to knock down his threes, right? This game was definitely an outlier game. He had a couple steals. He was 4 of 6 from 3. I don't know if I can do it. Like, he's got to knock down those threes. So I'm not super excited about Ariza at that price. Let's see. My cash line is Murray, CJ, Bogdan, Carmelo, JV, Kyrie, Bjelica, Poeltl. I'm okay with it. So you don't have Westbrook or Harden. I think that's a bold move. I would probably try to get one of those guys in, but if you feel comfortable with that, that's perfectly fine. Thoughts on Goga? Not for me. He got, with Miles Turner out, he only got like 5 minutes, right? He played 5 minutes. So, yeah, don't have to do that. Favorite forward, 5K under. 5K and under forward, let's see. Yeah, so there's really nothing I like in this price range, to be honest. I guess it's either Bogdan or Ariza, right? I'm not super high on either of those guys, but those would be, if I had to play someone 5K or under, I would go either Bogdan or Ariza. I would project about 33 fantasy points for Ariza tonight. If you project 33 fantasy points from Ariza, then definitely play him at 4.9. I don't know. With everyone back, with everyone healthy, he's a guy that has to hit those corner threes. So I'm definitely okay with Ariza. Like, I'm not saying Ariza is a bad play. If you feel strong about Ariza, that's perfectly fine. He can still have upside, right? We saw it in that his first game with Portland. He had like 38 fantasy points. So we'll probably get some decent minutes for sure. He's just a guy that has to hit those threes. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine. If you feel strongly about that, that's perfectly fine with me. Any cheap value plays you like? Yeah, so I would go with cheap value is Mike Conley or those Spurs guys. That's the value that I'm looking at right now. Or Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson too. And then, again, if you like Ariza, you can get to him. But I'm trying to think any other value plays. Not really. Yeah, so it's Conley. It's the Spurs guys. It's Reggie Jackson. I'm okay with Ariza too. Let's see. Yo, what's good? Can you give me your fave 2 small forwards on FanDuel? All right, let me open up FanDuel. Again, I don't really play FanDuel at all, but I do have the app on my phone, so I can take a look really quick. Small forward, let's see. Oh, small forward Gallinari's at the top there. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, there's the small forward is a wasteland on. Oh, I would go Ariza at 3.7K. 3.7K is too cheap for him. So I would go 3.7K Ariza, and then I would probably go 3.7K Rudy Gay. I think I would spend down on small forward with those two guys. Yeah, I think that's the way I would do it. Any love for Oladipo? He's just a GPP dart throw. Gonna be limited to 24 minutes. He can still get you to that time, but we just have no idea what he's gonna look like coming off of over a year of not playing. Bielitsa or J-Val? I gotta go J-Val there. Thanks, DK. Gotta run. Yeah, of course, man. Have a good night. Yes, value plays, please. I'm rolling with Murray, John T. Murray, Harden, Gay, Melo, JV, Kyrie, Svi, and Pirtle. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, I do like Kyrie's upside for sure. Thad at 5.3, okay? Yes, I'm okay with Thad Young at that price. I think he's a pretty solid mid-tier play. We haven't seen the big upside game from him in a while, but I do like him at 5.3. Top small forwards. Yeah, so I just went over there on FanDuel on Draftkings top small forwards. Not a whole lot I like here either. I think Rudy Gay probably is my favorite play there at 3.6. There's just nothing really stands out here other than that, in my opinion. Like, Ariza's okay at 4.9, right? Bogdan's okay at 5K. I guess Joe Ingles at 5.1. But I think Gay as a value play would probably be my favorite play. Conley or Mills, LOL, dart throw. I'll go Conley. Go with Turner out. Only got 5 minutes last game with no Turner. I would not do it. Oladipo 4K and FanDuel. Yeah, so on FanDuel I'd probably play Oladipo at 4K. DeRozan 7,900 on FanDuel. Yeah. Is he listed as a shooting guard? He is. I have a tough time on FanDuel just looking at this. I would have a tough time getting away from Harden and McCollum. I would. I think those would be the two guys I would prioritize. God, small forward. Small forward is a wasteland. Thoughts on Ja and Dylan Brooks? I like Ja a lot more. Dylan Brooks, just too scoring dependent for me. If you think he keeps up shooting the ball really, really well, then you can play him. But not a guy that I ever really like playing. So I would definitely prefer getting Ja Morant. I do have some interest in Ja. Ingles or LeVert and Jackson or Conley. I would go Ingles over LeVert, and then Jackson if you can get to him over Conley. But Jackson's also $700 more. 2 Knicks, okay? I think it is. I think the only three Knicks I would consider are Randall, Morris, and Elf Payton. I think the Knicks are just contrarian options. I don't think they're cash game plays, so I don't think I would play 2 Knicks in cash, but they're definitely fine for GPPs. Chris Dunn or TJ Warren, it's a tough one because TJ Warren with Oladipo and Brogdon back takes a hit. I'd probably go Chris Dunn, I guess. Where's Dunn? Do they only have listed as a small forward? Yeah, point guard, small forward. Okay. Yeah, I'll go Chris Dunn over TJ Warren. I have 4.5 for my forward position. Any suggestions? Sure. So 4.5, let's see. It's tricky because, again, there's not a whole lot I like here. I think you probably go LeVert at 4.5. I don't really think I want to play Christian Wood with Drummond playing. Jay Crowder's okay, I guess. I don't want to get to McDermott with Oladipo back. I don't want to play Markieff Morris or Svi with Drummond playing. Bullock, I'll pass. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go LeVert. I'm not super excited about that, but I would go LeVert. SGA or CJ on FanDuel, 7.5 and 7.4. I'll go CJ. Ariza or Bogdanovich? I'll go. Sadly, I think I got to go Ariza there. Bogdan is just, he's not been the same this year. So I'll go Ariza. Gay and Trey in the same lineup, I think you can do it. Because they're that cheap, right? They're negatively correlated because they're playing the same position, and if one's playing really well, they might limit the other. But like I could see Trey Lyles getting you, 20 fancy points in 20 minutes, where Gay could have a huge upside game at 28 minutes. So I think you can do it. There is definitely some negative correlation, but I think because they're that cheap, you can play them together. Thoughts on Donovan Mitchell? I'm okay with Donovan Mitchell at 8K. Just knock me the way that I go, at least for roster construction. Again, I just really like the guards in Houston and Portland. So that's what I'm prioritizing, is trying to get those guards in my lineup. So Donovan Mitchell, more of a secondary play here at 8K. He did have a good game last game. 2 pretty solid back-to-back games. So, yeah, if you feel really strong about Donovan Mitchell, if that's your gut, if you're like, oh, man, I really want to play Donovan Mitchell, go Donovan Mitchell. Just knock me the way that I go tonight. Do you like Portis or TJ Warren? Not really super high on TJ Warren. Bobby Portis, what's his price? He's 4.1. Not really. Yeah, sure, he can get you there in 20 minutes, but I would prefer Mike Conley. I would prefer Reggie Jackson. I would prefer the Spurs value. Let's see. Top small forwards. Again, I kind of already went over that. I think Rudy Gay is my favorite play at his price. How's this for GPP? Dame, Brooks, Bruce Brown, Melo, Lyles, Westbrook, Thad, and nobody owns Tyus Jones. I'm fine with that. That's definitely pretty contrarian, right? Like Bruce Brown's gonna be super low owned. Tyus Jones, yeah, I think like if you want like a super risky punt, he is viable with no DeAnthony Melton. I think we get about 20 minutes from him, but I can't feel great about like, oh, I need to play Tyus Jones. But yeah, I'm fine with that. Jacquard, his price. How many minutes did he get last game when he started? He didn't. I just don't think there's enough minutes for me to get to him. He's probably like min price, right? Yeah, min price. He only got 17 minutes, right? And there's just, I can't. I would not recommend that. Ingles or Levert, and oh wait, I already went over some of this stuff. I'll go Ingles over Levert, yeah, and Jackson over Conley. Why don't you do FanDuel because of no late swap? I played FanDuel from when it started to about like 2016, 2017, but I just got screwed so many times with guys getting late scratched. Favorite plays in the 10K, 10 to 7K range tonight on DK. In the 10K, 7K range. So 10K range. Let's see. 10K, I would say, one of those Houston guards, Westbrook or Harden, and then. I'm sorry, I'm just going to make sure my lineup is in here. Okay. Yeah, I think it's. One of those Rockets guys, either Harden or Westbrook. I'm okay with Lillard, more of a contrarian option though, and then Kyrie as well. And then in the 7K range, I think John Morant's pretty solid. I like CJ a good amount. I'm okay with Bjelica, so I should get some run at the 5. And then we kind of get to that cheaper tags there. I'm a big fan of Lillard, just man's a baller. Yeah, he always seems to step up in big games, too. So I'm still fine with Lillard. Ingles or Bogdanovich on Sacramento or Ariza. Those 3, it's either Ingles or Ariza. I'll go Ingles there. Thoughts on Marcus Morris tonight? I feel like he's so chalky tonight, especially on FanDuel. If he's going to be that chalk on FanDuel, I wouldn't play him. Melo or Warren? I'll go Melo there. If Bucks or Lakers ain't playing FanDuel, small forwards is rough. Tyus Jones or Mike Conley? Definitely Mike Conley there. Gay, Trey Lyles, Pirtle. Between those 3, well, I would go if you can get to Pirtle, obviously. But you could play those 3 together for sure. Randall 7,500 on FanDuel. I'm fine with it on FanDuel. You think playing Lillard and McCollum in a cash game is a mistake? I think it is. I don't think I would play Lillard in cash games tonight. I would play again. I think the cash game build is one of the Houston guards and pair with McCollum. I think that's the way I would go for cash games. Westbrook or Lillard. I think Westbrook for cash, Lillard for GPP. Bogdanovich or Warren, same price on FanDuel. Bogdan, I guess. Is 3 Spurs too much for cash games? Nope. I think I have 3 Spurs in my lineup. I do. Conley or Clarkson from Utah? Conley. 6.7 DK utility. 6.7. JV if you don't have them. If you have JV, then either Triple J or Bielitsa. Good luck, DK. Hey, thanks, man. Good luck to you, too. Westbrook. Thanks, DK. Good luck, everybody. Samson projected 16 minutes. Don't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Good luck, fan. Thanks as always, DK. Of course, man. Melo or Steven Adams for utility. Definitely Melo. Already have Ariza, McCollum. Yeah, I would still go Melo there, though. Just going to play more minutes. Adams has been limited. Westbrook and DeJounte Murray or Kyrie and Pirtle. That's a tough one. I'll go Kyrie and Pirtle. Best shooting guard, 4,500 DK. Let's see. Shooting guard, 4,500. Yeah, there is not a lot to like here. How many minutes has Speed been getting? Joe Harris at 4,500. I guess Joe Harris. I don't like a lot in that range, though. Thanks, DK. Yeah, of course. It's a bonus, 23% owned in the pick and roll in DK. Oh, yeah, that was going to say. Oh, let's go over some ownership here. Let me see what he is in the $40. I feel like I just don't think he's going to be that high owned. 20%. All right. And then in the $20 tournament, he's 17%. Lillard, Temple, Gay, Sabonis, Pearl, Kyrie, Trey Lyles, and Reggie Jackson. Not super excited about Garrett Temple at 3.5. His minutes, he's not going to get 34 with Kyrie playing, right? He probably gets about 20 or so. So that's a risky play. Everything else I'm fine with. Why TJ 17%? TJ Warren 17%. Let's see. Thad Young 16%. Done. Let me go to the $40 one. See what other people are playing here. Lamb at 3%. See what Notorious did. He played Sabonis too, just like me. TJ Warren, 8%, I see. Brogdon, 2%. So it looks like just a lot of Sabonis. Or not a lot, but 20%. That's all I'm saying. Thoughts on Patty Mills? I actually like him on DK. Nobody's going to be going to him either. Yeah. Like I said, one or two of those Spurs cards will have a good game. It's just I have a tough time trying to predict which one's going to be. I have Harden, McCollum, Gay, Sabonis, Val, Conley, Lyles, and Pirtle. Yeah, we might have the same lineup. How much do you like Valanciunas on the back-to-back? I feel like he's going to play 20 minutes and shit all my lineups. There's always a chance. His minutes are never really secure, but I do like his upside a good amount. Who are some values? Who are some values for you once Sabonis, Lillard, and Kyrie? Yeah, so values are Conley, Reggie Jackson, but that game locked, right? That was an early game. Oh, no. That's 6:30 game. So, yeah, I think Reggie Jackson, I think Conley, I think the Spurs guys. Those would be the really cheap value guys I would look for. But, yeah, all right. I think I'm going to hop out here, guys. So I do appreciate all you coming to check out the live stream. I will be back for another video to break down Thursday's slate. I'll have that up later tonight. Be on the lookout for that. So thanks again. Good luck, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.